Day 14 of No Shave November. The itching stopped, but I still hate the way I look. This is after 2 weeks. I literally shaved at like 10 o'clock at night on Halloween, so we'll see how I look in another 2 weeks. Today's kind of cool for me. I don't know how you guys will feel about it, but a lot of people hated on Jamal for what his job on the FD. The FD looks amazing. Now there's obviously different levels of detailers out there, ranging from people who are not good at all to people who are amazing. Today we have somebody coming by that's amazing. I'll put his Instagram right here. Mike will do it. So that's another thing. Wait, someone's here. I don't know who that is. Maybe it's him. This dude has taken razor blades to some crazy expensive cars, and he's gonna come check out the FD. A buddy of mine talks to him, kind of wrote on his Instagram, connected the two of us, and I expressed interest in him touching the FD. So today he's gonna go over it and tell me what it needs. We can see like a chip there. Obviously a car this old, I would assume,
Yeah, a lot of them do. Can we open up?
Yeah, do whatever you want. You want me to open the hood?
Yeah, open the hood and the trunk, and we'll see what was sprayed, not sprayed, and
You have a paint gauge.
yeah, it measures all 3 layers.
Oh, it does.
Or 2.
Right.
If this is single stage, it'll show 2. It'll show primer and body.
That's amazing.
And then it'll show color.
So how does it do it? Because I know the other ones are like magnetic, so they just basically measure the distance from the tool to the metal.
Yeah, this is ultrasonic.
Oh.
It's pretty precise. I mean, it's still a gauge.
So we can tell like the basically the like density is different between
Correct.
the two? Okay.
And it'll constantly throw the impulse into the paint. So sometimes if the variation is a micron, a half a micron, it might send it to 2 instead of 1.
Oh, okay.
It'll do an over under, so to say.
I didn't really go too deep into it, but when I did the pre-purchase inspection, my buddy found some spots.
Sure. Like even all these
Yeah, those scuffs.
this stuff, if you wanted to, I can layer color in there.
Really?
Actually clean them out. Some of the deeper ones,
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up with a razor blade and then lay paint in it and then sand on top of it and then cut it.
That's crazy. So this is like the process, so you don't have to repaint stuff. Like that's what you specialize in, kind of.
Correct, right? So say you get a collector or whoever it is that has a car, but they don't want to spend $50K or whatever it is on a paint job.
Right. They try to fix it.
Maybe get in touch with somebody like me who will sand it and cut it and do it for whatever, a lot less than that price.
Oh yeah, what's the most expensive car you've done?
A Ferrari 250 GTO, a prototype.
That's sick.
The car was in Italy for 1.5 years, going through its inspection with Ferrari, and it's a legit car.
That's sick.
So yeah, it was a great car to do.
I saw you like taking razor blades and stuff, and it's pretty cringy to watch.
It is, yeah. It's really
just like scraping clear. What is it, like runs? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, like big runs. Instead of sitting there blocking it, where you could potentially blow through either side.
Right.
Use the blades very precise. Cut it, level it, then block after that.
You don't want me doing that.
I could show you. I mean, I teach classes and stuff, so.
Yeah. I do not have the patience.
It can be a patience game.
Yeah. I saw what did you just do a Porsche that was like 7 days or something? How long was it?
Yeah, it was a turbo. It was I think I had 9 days total into it.
That's insane.
The car's the guy takes it to the train station every day. God bless him. Yeah, so I mean there is some. I mean, yeah, you could pop it, sure. I mean there is some respray on it.
Right.
Depending on how crazy you want it to go. Some of the edges aren't smoothed out. That stuff could be sanded too, depending on how perfect you want to make it. So the edges aren't rough. I'm gonna take some measurements, see what you got going on, and
for sure.
And I'll tell you what we could probably do if you want to do it.
Oh, one thing I wanted you to see actually. So when I brought this cross country, I taped it, and like an idiot, I only went up halfway up the hood. So you see right here, this all this is from the tape beading, like it came loose. Can you see that right there?
Yeah.
That's not too deep, right?
No, that shouldn't be too bad to remove. I mean, that type of etchings You usually just cut that out with compound and move on. And I mean, what I would do is probably wool it with rotary, and then correct it after that. Remove all the wool marks left behind, then go and chase the clarity and fix all those imperfections. Yeah. Let's see what it's got. So, I mean, like I had said, it bounces back and forth. So it was just showing 1.6, but after doing more ultrasonic readings, it's reading 1.5, which is probably a true measurement.
Okay.
Or as close to as it can be because it's still a gauge.
So that's the top layer of paint you're saying?
Top layer,
okay. Yep. Yeah, so one is the top layer?
The 1.6.
Or I meant like level 1 or whatever it is.
Right, that's the top. Say like clear.
Okay.
So the second reading would be base coat. The third, if it's reading it, depending on some of the polys that are used, would be like primers and Bondo and all that. So this is looks like 1.4. Good to take some measurements around. 1.4.
Oh, okay.
So 1.4.
Oh, so it's pretty consistent so far? Which
is very good. So even to have a variation bounce to 1.3, it can still be factory paint.
Right. So
you might read a 1.6, 1.7 when it's not been blocked.
Right.
We'll if it has happened, we'll see that.
This is the quarter panel where we found some light. It looked like Bondo work closer to the arch. So it's thinner there.
Yeah, it's pretty consistent. So the body work part of it is thinner, yes.
Okay. Because I looked on the inside, looked through the quarter, and I couldn't see anything. But my buddy looked at it, and he could see marks, like sanding marks in the Bondo under the paint is what he saw. So that's when he told me this quarter panel has been repaired, and I was like,
yeah. So some of that drop back that you're talking about, you can sand a panel. You can sand those areas to visually help that texture movement that you're seeing. You're not going to fix the body work
under it
per se, but the top layer, you can manipulate the surface enough to make it look flatter.
So when you look at this, I mean, do you see anything? So what does the green do?
So the green really will illuminate some movement and even more defects, where the LED illuminates it, but sometimes it washes out a bit more. So I'll use color in order to illuminate all that.
You're a maniac.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit in there,
Yeah.
But it's in really good shape though. I mean, the body work that was done on it, it's not terrible. I mean, for this year, depending when it was done, I mean.
Yeah, that's a fear. Like what if happened in '93? You're working with stuff.
Trust me, there's cars that are newer than this that are in much worse shape.
The Japan.
Japan.
Yeah, this was in Japan till 3 months ago. But I think that's why the bumpers were resprayed, just because they fade over there like crazy, the plastics.
Yeah.
I don't know why, never mind, I can't talk about that on the channel right now. Yeah,
and even if it was sprayed, the consistency throughout is very, very good. You don't even get that on some high level cars.
Yeah, so what is this last number?
So that's total.
Oh, okay.
So the total of the 3 numbers, it'll tell you that's what it is.
Okay.
And you could leave it there, and it might jump back and forth from the 1.3 to 1.4 or 1.5, but it's just constantly sending impulses.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it's very consistent.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. When I was looking at those, it was like the magnetic one. A lot of these hoods and stuff are all aluminum, so that you needed the one for whatever.
Yeah, for composites and different metals, because if you don't have that, it might not read it. It might read something that might be on that surface, but it's not. It's not going to be accurate.
My biggest thing was just like I wanted it just to be able to tell Bondo from, you know what I mean, in scenarios like that.
Yeah, which is good. Like if you had a Ferrari and you went to give the car back to Miller Motors and they go scan it and there's variations, 10 grand, 15 grand.
Really? That's crazy. How do you fare with the single stage? I mean, do you like working with it more? Do you like the clears more? What's? I mean, I know this is like a worse.
I mean, single stage is great.
Yeah.
I mean, single stage loves to be polished. Can be very finicky in all the cutting aspect, but when you get the polishing done to a really high level, I mean, they look ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because clarity in certain clears isn't great. It can be very cloudy. Like out in the sun, you see it. It's almost hazy.
Yeah.
Even on the most perfect job done. So single stage is, really a great thing to have in your car.
Well, thanks for coming down.
Hey.
I'll see you soon.
Sounds good.
Be ready for that on the channel. So Chris just left. I don't know what to think. The dude is amazing. He said he's gonna spend 10 days on the FD. He's gonna come here. We're gonna film the whole thing. You guys are gonna see like an insane paint restoration. And I'm stoked to see it done to the FD, because even though the car looks good, he thinks I'm going to love what it looks like when he's done. If you're interested in following his work, I'll put his Instagram here. I'll put it in the bio. Definitely go follow him. And just see what the dude does. The cars he's done. I've watched his cars. I've watched a bunch of stuff he's done over the years, and he's amazing. And it's literally an honor to have him here. So that's the end of the video. Hope you liked picking apart the FD. I thought the paint gauge thing was super cool, and I can't wait to see what he does. So, oh, what's this noise?
Hey, look who's fucking back.
Look who's back. He's been in the insane asylum.
I have. Been hanging out with Rudnick in the insane asylum.
Grant's here. He just did some work at my house to my fucking well pump that I broke. For all your plumbing needs. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow. Hey. Oh, and by the way, Mike fucked up my video yesterday and didn't put any of the pictures.